Man, just a really good overall weekend for our guys. I thought we played good baseball all weekend. We had chances in game 2 yesterday, but today we come out. We play good defense. We have quality at bats. One of the things that surprised me that I didn't even realize we didn't strike out once today at the plate. So when you play good baseball, as I've said all the time, you put yourself in a situation to make some good things happen.
Coach, your first time winning 2 series is in the same season. The first time you won a series at home since Florida 2 years ago. What's that kind of mean for you in this program?
Again, it's the significance of winning the series and those types of things, and what it is in my short tenure here is not as relevant as it is just the idea we're playing good baseball and winning games and putting ourselves in a position to win games. And we've done that at multiple times this year, but we haven't been able to finish, and this weekend we're able to finish.
So then, being able to finish those games, what does that do for you guys in this program kind of going forward as you're trying to string more of those together?
Just the idea of building, right? You know that our kids are good enough, and they have to have that belief system, and then understanding how to win in the margins. And so we won 2 games this weekend that were in the margins, and when we needed to do the things necessary to put us in a position to win, we were able to do that.
Coach, Cam and Blaze have kind of stood out for you guys all year and also in this series. Did you see kind of their growth of the whole season kind of culminate in this 3-game set against Vanderbilt alone?
I mean, Blaze has been Blaze from the beginning, right? He started off a little bit slow. He actually got the opportunity to play because Cam had that injury at the beginning of the year, so he started off a little bit slow. Things split up on him a little bit. We sat him, and then once we put him back in there, he was determined to not let us take him out of lineup. And again, I haven't looked lately, but I think he's still in the top 10 in our league of hitters. So he's been the same guy all year. And I think Cam has slowly started to progress in what he was doing. Started off a little bit slower, and then as he got in there and kind of settled down and understood what he needed to do as a hitter in the box, then he was able to put himself in a position where he is right now. But the one thing that he's done is he's played elite defense all year long. And when you're playing defense, if you're not hitting, if you're taking hits away or making big plays, it's just as important.
And then all your arms from the bullpen today, putting some good work for you guys, only giving up obviously 1 earned run. What was kind of working for your staff today, you think, overall?
Again, I think the idea of being able to come in there, one, it wasn't an offensive day. The wind's blowing in. That's a team that has a lot of home runs and relies on the long ball at times. Our guys were able to come in there, pitch both sides of the plate, throw their secondary pitches for strikes. And when you talk about the guys that came in for relief, you still got what we've been talking about all year: Skidmore, Salas, Roseanne. You got 3 freshmen in that mix. Obviously, Juan came in and had a good appearance. Salas was good in his appearance. And then you got Losi, the super senior, that his last home game here, I think, I don't know, maybe he'll find out he had his 7th year. But it comes out, and he was really, really good for us. And I think that even set the tone for Sam to come out in the 9th and do what he did.
Chris Patterson returned to the lineup this weekend, and the 2 games that you've seen for him coming back, where has that really kind of helped you guys in this series?
Well, the one thing with Chris is the defense is elite. And so we knew he was going to play good defense. Before he had gotten hurt, he was starting to struggle a little bit offensively, so we had been able to talk about some things. So I think maybe this time down allowed him to reset mentally and understand what he needed to do with his approach at the plate. And when you saw it this weekend, for him to be off as long as he had been off, he hadn't had any live ABs. Like, he just came to my office, said, "I'm ready, let's go play," and then he jumped out there. So again, you're talking about a player in our league that has a chance to be really, really good, and is going to be good for us for a long time, hopefully.
What's that like for you to have more like culture guys like that are like, I'm ready to get out there, I'm ready to go put the M on my chest and kind of go out and compete for you guys?
That's what this place has always been about, right? And it's when you talk about building, you want to build it with those types of guys that are in the program and they grow and develop. McDevitt and all the, just a number of those guys that have been here for 2 or 3 years. For those guys to kind of own it and take real value and stock in being a part of this program and what this program has done in the past, that's what you ultimately want to have over the long haul, because that's what's going to build stability.
This season's not quite over yet, but you finished up the home slate. Do you have any kind of general takeaways on how this year has gone for your team?
Not the way that we wanted to go when you look at the result of things, but I think if you take away the wins and losses and you see the progress the team has made, and you see how many games in conference play specifically, we were right there. We're 1 pitch, 1 hit, 1 play away from putting ourselves in a position to win. When you're talking about growth mindsets, I don't think you can ask for anything better than that. Obviously, the public and fans and everybody, they want us to win right now and all those kind of things, and it just takes time. And so I think being able to true baseball people and people that understand what this thing is about, they look at what we did this year and what we've done this year so far and say, hey, there's progress being made, and look at our kids and look at the youth that we have and the talent that we have in that youth, and know that the future is bright for us.
And kind of along that same path, when you're talking about growth and development, do you see the program as being where you want it to be as you kind of near the end of year 3?
Not yet, right? I mean, obviously, because again, from a wins and loss standpoint, we want to be in regionals, and we're in a league that when you're finishing in the middle of the pack in our league, you're going to put yourself in a position to be in a regional. Last year, they took 13 teams. I don't think it's going to be too far here in the near future that all 16 teams are going to make it, similar to what softball has, right? Like if you have a 500 record in softball, you're in a regional, and I think our league in baseball is going to be like that very soon. And so we want to make sure that we're putting ourselves in that mix, because ultimately that's what it is can you get to the postseason? And when you're playing in the SEC and you go through 30 games and 10 weekends of super regional type play, that's when you get into those regional formats and you're set and ready for that. So as we're continuing to grow and develop, we're going to put ourselves in a position to be able to make those things happen.
What do you see as kind of that next step where you're talking about, this year was different from last year because of how many games you were competitive and you were pitch or hit away, especially through conference play? What do you see as the next step to being on the other side of those results?
Making those pitches, getting those hits, making those plays.
Coach, it's kind of a bizarre series in general with all the weather delays and the fog and everything. What does it kind of say just to be able to win this series and to win today to kind of, just it was a crazy series, right?
I mean, just our year in general. When you go back to Florida, the lights went out, right? Like, so we had that situation down there. We've had 2 guys that have gotten mono. Who gets mono anymore? We've gone through some different things. The lights went out here one weekend. So we've battled through some things and had some different things happen to us. But again, I just think the resiliency of our kids to be able to come out and stay competitive. And I know what people are going to say, and it's really, really unfortunate that they're going to say, oh, well, they beat a down Vanderbilt team. That's Vanderbilt. I don't care how down they are. It's still Vanderbilt. And so don't discredit our kids and what they were able to do in this weekend. It's still an SEC conference win and a conference series win. And so those things are very important. So hopefully our guys understand the gravity of that and, again, continue to move the needle forward. But more importantly, understand what they're capable of doing. Because I think once that belief system sets in and they see, hey, when we just go out and do what we're supposed to do and play the game the way the game is supposed to be played, good things are going to happen. We put ourselves in really good situations.
You've talked a lot about the youth and being able to build from that. Obviously, senior day, though, what kind of leadership role have those seniors meant to the program, to your 3 years here, and to those young guys that they're trying to mentor and build this program up with?
A ton. Like I said, you don't have many seniors anywhere across the country that have been there for 3, 4, 5, like I said, Losi, 6 years, right? So when you have guys in your program that have had that type of stability and been here for a long time, it really, really means a lot to them for the program to be successful. And I think they've kind of translated it to our guys. And so our younger guys, I think, are going to embody that moving forward.
How have you as a coach kind of learned, because you just talked about the noise from the outside, how have you as a coach kind of learned to block out that noise as your tenure has gone on here?
I never listened to it, right? I've never been in a position where, whether it was growing up, how I was raised, it didn't matter what other people thought except for the people that are in your circle. For me, being raised by my grandparents, I was always told that you'd never let anybody else establish your self-value and self-worth. So if I always listened to people, I would feel like. But with that being the case, I don't worry about what other people say. There's only certain people that their opinions really, really matter. And those people are the ones that we rely on, because those are the people that are going to support you whether you're at the top or whether you're at the bottom. When you look at social media and you look at fan bases at times, specifically the ones that aren't true fans, right? So there are people that call themselves fans, but when you look and all they say is negative things, they're not fans. Right? And in our society, everybody wants to see somebody fail. Nobody wants to see anybody do well. Even when somebody does well, they figure out a way to knock them down for doing well. And so we try and tell our guys, don't worry about what other people outside of your circle think. Stay focused on what we're doing and what we're about. And as long as you do that, those people that are out there that are saying those things, they have no impact on your ability to go out and be successful. Right? A quote that I heard was, what other people eat doesn't make me. Right, so don't worry about what other people do. Worry about what you do and what you ingest, because that'll ultimately put you in a position to be successful.
Already in a game of failure, have you felt like that mindset has translated to the team and to the players?
Well, one of the things we talk about is not a game of failure, right? Like, to me, we talk about failure truly being a choice. And what I mean by that is if we define how we want to see success, and then that is success that is controllable by us, then if we don't have that success, then it's a learning opportunity. If you go out and you're not successful and then you do the same thing over and over and over again, well, now you're choosing to fail. If you don't have success how you define it, make the adjustment. Be better the next time. See it as a growth opportunity and have a growth mindset. It's only failure if you just keep going out and, no, I'm going to do the same thing over and over again. I'm thinking that it's going to change. Or it's failure if you let other people's opinions about what success is supposed to be define how you go about success. And we can't ever put ourselves in a situation to do that. So we try to redefine our success and understand that any times that we're not successful, those are growth opportunities. Go out and be better the next time you get that opportunity.